So if you guys are new around here, you probably don't know this, but I'm not very fond of Steve Keim. And for those of you who don't know who that is, well, he's the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, and let's just say he's made some very interesting moves in the past. Like the fact he even still has a job is pretty mind-boggling. Not only for the football decisions he's made, but also for the things he's done outside of football as well. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I will give the guy credit. Last season, he did a phenomenal job in free agency, and I feel like he had a couple good draft picks as well. But let me just tell you, this year was an outlier. I'm not going to go fully in depth, but I will give you guys a quick overview since we're basically going to be talking about all of these players anyways. So I believe the year was 2016, and Tyrann Mathieu was coming off an ACL injury if I'm not mistaken. And since Tyrann kept getting hurt, the Cardinals asked him to take a pay cut, which he refused to do. So what did the Cardinals do? Well, they basically said, you know what? You're not worth that price, so we're just going to cut you, and we're going to sign Sam Bradford with that money we freed up. Yeah, this is the kind of guy we're talking about, and trust me when I say, this is just the beginning. The next move would come in free agency in 2017 where Calais Campbell's contract ran out, and the Cardinals had to make a decision on whether they wanted to keep him or not. Knowing the direction of where I'm going, obviously we didn't sign him, and he signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's still playing to this day in 2022 elite level football. And some of the main reasons we didn't bring him back, one was a money issue, and the second reason is that Steve Keim thought Robert Nkemdiche was gonna be a star. Yeah, life as a Cardinals fan is tough. And these next two moves literally happened last season in free agency where Patrick Peterson and Haason Reddick's contracts ran out, and the Cardinals came to the decision that both of them aren't even worth offering contracts to. Now I know some of you guys have a hate-love relationship when it comes to Patrick Peterson, but let's be honest, we could have desperately used him last year. Our corner depth was paper thin, and Robert Alford, I mean, I feel like we all knew he wasn't going to hold up the entire season, so the fact that we relied on him to be a corner too, that's just not the moves. And with the way Pat P played last season, it's not like he's the shutdown corner he used to be, but he is still really, really good at football. So the fact that our GM literally just completely ghosted him in the offseason made no sense to me whatsoever, but it's even worse because he also didn't offer Haason Reddick a contract either. Like, not offering Pat P a contract is a little more understandable than the Haason Reddick one, because at least you can say Patrick Peterson's an aging corner who's demanding top dollar. But when it comes to Haason Reddick, he was a 26-year-old outside linebacker who just had a breakout season. What's the excuse there? Short answer, there is none. Our GM's just a little slow in the head.
Hey, Patrick, what am I now?
Stupid?
Say that again.
And then you look at today when Chandler Jones is currently a free agent, and I'm like 90% sure he's not coming back. That's just my gut feeling. So it would have been really nice if we had another outside linebacker who could come in and fill his role next year. You know, someone like Haason Reddick, because if Chandler walks, we are screwed.
We are screwed.
But unfortunately, we don't have that luxury as of now. But could we see a potential reunion? Well, today, that's what we're going to be discussing. Because in today's video, we're going to be discussing the potential chances we see some reunions in the desert. And since we're already talking about him, let's start off with Haason Reddick. So back in 2017, the Cardinals selected Haason Reddick with the 13th overall pick, and in his first couple seasons here, he wasn't playing great, but that's because the Cardinals were misusing him and playing him out of position. So in year 4, the Cardinals finally decided to move him to outside linebacker, which fits his skill set perfectly, and we saw him break out. In 2020, he finished the year with 63 combined tackles and 12.5 sacks. What was unfortunate about this is that the Cardinals declined his 5th-year option right before the season, meaning that he was going to be a free agent in 2021. And like we already discussed, we didn't offer him a contract and he ended up signing with the Carolina Panthers. This proved out to be pretty unfortunate because again, Haason Reddick had another really solid season, finishing the year with 68 combined tackles and 11 total sacks. But luckily for us, the Panthers only signed him to a 1-year deal, meaning that he is currently a free agent again. And since Chandler Jones is a free agent, bringing back Haason Reddick would be super huge for this defense. But would he even want to come back? Because, I mean, with the way we treated him, I'm sure there's hard feelings between him and the front office, but money talks. You offer him the right contract and he could be back in Cardinals red for 2022. Let me know what you guys think of this down in the comment section below. And the second player we're going to be talking about is Patrick Peterson. Now granted, this one's going to be probably the most unrealistic out of all 3 that I'm going to be talking about, and that's because of the way he feels towards Steve Keim, and he went very public with how he feels. I mean, just listen to this.
But he wasn't answering none of your calls. And that's the thing. People don't understand. You had a personal relate. You had his cell number. Most players don't have the cell number to the GM. So clearly you guys had some type of communication. The transparency was once there. But when it was time to talk business, he was treating you like that girl you don't want to talk to no more.
And for him to do that, yo, I lost all respect for him, man.
That's why you feel how you feel.
I'm telling you, Mac, I lost all respect for him, yo.
So yeah, it's safe to say this one's a little more on the unlikely side, but you never know. And when we take a look at some of his stats, he actually had a pretty solid season, only allowing 377 total yards, while also only allowing 1 touchdown, which came to DeAndre Hopkins. Not bad for someone that everyone was telling me was washed up. He did only finish the year with 1 reception, but for who Patrick Peterson is, he doesn't really get targeted that often, so I'd say he did pretty well. But like I said, I don't know how realistic this is, but we could desperately use someone like him on our team next year. Pairing him up again with Byron Murphy would be super beneficial for us, but at this point in his career, I would say Byron Murphy is the edge and is still our #1 corner, even if he did re-sign here. But having Pat P play outside of him once again, but this time as the #2 corner, would be kind of nasty. But for this to even be a possibility, we're gonna need a therapy session between these two, because there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of rekindling to do. And for the final player we're gonna be talking about in today's video, it's gonna be Calais Campbell. There's been rumors this offseason that Calais Campbell's been contemplating retirement, but a couple days ago he said on a broadcast that he has no plans to retire and he's gonna play once again in 2022. So the fact that retirement's even circling through his head means that he's pretty close to calling it a career. So if he wanted to come back, this is the perfect time to do that. As it stands right now, the Cardinals' run defense looked absolutely terrible last year, and bringing back the 6'8", 300-pound beast to pair alongside JJ Watt would be amazing for us. Last season, Calais played defensive tackle in Baltimore, so you're gonna see his numbers drop a little bit as he only had 1.5 sacks, but getting to the quarterback really wasn't his job. It was to stop the run, and he did amazing at that. The Ravens run a 3-4 scheme, which just so happens to be the Cardinals as well. So I mean, Calais could come in here and fit perfectly. I think Calais would thrive here, but I'm just not sure how likely it is that he leaves Baltimore because he seems to love it there. But in what I think is going to be his last season in the NFL, it would honestly be a storybook ending to see him come back for one final season to help us compete for a Super Bowl. So let's make it happen. With that being said, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. But before you click off, let me know down in the comment section below, out of these 3 moves, which one is the most realistic and which one is the most unrealistic? And also, if you were the Cardinals and you could sign one of these players, which player are you picking and why? I want to see what you guys have to say. And another thing, if you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post NFL and Arizona Cardinals related content, so if you're a fan of either of those or both of those, this is the perfect channel for you. Like I said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.